So I truly believe that we're working with a higher force. I truly believe that things are put in our way because of, number one, what we believe. I think the belief in what it is that we want to attract, who we are, attracts the thing. Because you are such a good person. So I believe from a manifestation perspective, the idea is in the conscious mind. You are the vessel to bring it in because your vibration matches the vibration that needs to be birthed.
A healthy brain manifestation. Let's call it a healthy brain manifestation. Does it make sense, right?
Yeah.
If you're not healthy, your manifestation will be weak because you're not putting your full effort.
Yeah.
So a healthy brain manifestation always works. The ball weigh 180 kg, the same as a gorilla. Can you move and push the ball? What happens? The thin layer of water underneath the ball helps the smoothly slide across the stand. Without the water, the resistance between the two surfaces would stop you moving a ball. Nice.
Wow.
I wanted to ask you from the long time ago, what does manifestation means spiritually?
Yeah. Oh, you asked me? Yeah, so for me, manifestation. So I truly believe that we're working with a higher force. I truly believe that things are put in our way because of, number one, what we believe. I think the belief in what it is that we want to attract, who we are, attracts the thing. So, for example, when I look at manifestation and I look at it in correspondence to our beliefs, in correspondence to our subconscious, my true belief is our subconscious is the thing that guides us. So for example, like if you were to close your eyes and imagine the thing that you want, you can only imagine the thing that you want because of your experiences, because of your past, because you have the knowledge and skills to get it. But we block it. And then in order for us to manifest the very things that we want, we have to overcome blocks, which our subconscious will put up to see how much we want it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm actually doing quite good at this. Oh yeah, to be fair, I did literally just imagine it. Yeah, please.
Mine is a longer one.
Oh, I did literally just do what you said. I imagined doing it first.
So when you are learning manifestation, right? It's this hard. Then you become a little good at manifestation. Is this? And then you become a pro in manifestation. Is this? Easy. It's the same thing, right? Like every religion, every science, and every other thing has a very different definition of about the manifestation, but everything leads to the same place about achieving something or getting some goal fulfilled by visualizing about that goal, right? So according to, like, I'll say science now, according to science, like what manifestation is, I'll say as a neuroscientist, right? So what it means to me, or how I'll explain it, right? So the first thing, like let's say if you really want something, so you have a goal of XYZ thing, right? And if you believe in that goal and if you visualize that goal over and over again, right? So what it creates is it will create a very safe space in your brain and it will create a neural pathway. Like first neural pathway about, visualizing something or visualizing XYZ things, right? And then if you do it again and again and again, and if you believe in that much about that, that your goal, it will create that neural pathway will become a highway. So whenever the opportunity will come, because your subconscious will always look for that kind of opportunity, and whenever the opportunity will come, it will just pick up and you will feel 90% of the thing that you have done before, because you are making that memories, you are making the highway much more bigger and bigger every time you manifest it, right? And the brain is like amazing organ, has like 86 billion neuron, right? So whatever is you is your brain, like whatever you think, it can be you. I do question myself, like, is it really somebody or we are just a coincidence?
But we can't be a coincidence if you think how infinitely intelligent
I know how intelligent the universe is, right? Like self-sustain, going again and again.
We're here, like, so in England, a lot of people believe they're going to win the lottery, right? And I went through this belief where literally for about 6 weeks, every night I was closing my eyes and I was imagining myself winning the lottery to a point where I'd get like a lottery ticket and I'd be like, I won! Like that massively, right? But in my head, I assigned the numbers that I wanted to come out. Anyway, right, this one night I went into a meditation and I became a lottery ball, but they weren't the numbers that were in there, so I shut it off. So from what you're saying, because I'm putting that out there, my brainwaves, do they have the ability? I truly believe from a spiritual perspective, because I believe it, I'm attracted, I'm doing the thing. I truly believe that has the ability to bring out the lottery numbers. But would the lottery numbers have been the winning numbers?
Can be, cannot be. Have you checked it?
No, I didn't put them on.
So that's the thing, right? When you talk about this kind of concept, there's an amazing concept called brainwave synchronization. You think like you are thinking about the same thing, right? But it's actually a brainwave synchronization where your brainwave is getting synchronized with the other person's brainwave, right? So it's a really good concept. At the end of the day, if you look into that thing, right, everything vibrates. Like we are at the end of the day made up of atoms. We are made up of energy, right? So each atom has a certain frequency of vibration.
And is that the same for actual objects? So each object has the same atom, like the same frequency of atoms, right?
Yeah, it's all the object has atom, but they vibrate in a very different way. Like if they are much in a compact size, they vibrate less. Like gas, right? Gas has so many atoms. It flows freely, right? So that's why you need to contain it because it flows. Then let's take an example of steel. It's densely packed atom, so it doesn't flow. So you don't have to compress it or you don't have to put it in the. So same like that. Everything vibrates. Can be a form of vibration or two where your vibration can change. Can be. Okay, science does not prove it as now, but can be a form of like I told you, right? I come from a very spiritual background where we believe not in a, like, I don't believe in a higher form in the general, but like we believe in a higher form, right? Where there is something that governs everything, but at the same time, when you look at the universe, right? It's so big.
But then it's the same energy that governs the universe.
Yeah, that governs the universe.
Everything's energy, everything's condensed.
So maybe there is something kind of there where, something goes around that emits out of your body. Okay, we have so when we are experimenting with the belief coding, right, we use a machine called EEG, electroencephalogram, right? So what it does is it catches the electrical pulse from the skull, right, in the form of 0 to certain hertz of frequency, alpha, beta, gamma, theta, and delta wave. So there is something coming out of your brain. Yeah. And there are so many research paper talks about aura. People call it an aura, we call it as energy. Everybody has a different term, right? There are so many papers who talks about, when you leave the room, there is a form of energy. There will be in the room whoever is the room. So you can like when you walk in, you can see the positivity. You can feel the positivity or negative energy, or it will.
So this is why I think there's something spiritual at play as well as scientific. So let me answer this right. So I truly believe that when you know something for certain, from my own experience, the universe, God, the higher source, moves in the clouds to put the thing in place, right, to get you the thing that you want. Do you not believe that?
That's the beauty about the universe. It has been like, let's say we came from a big bang, right? A big bang. Let's believe in one theory as of big bang, right? We came from a big bang.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, to get that one big bang right, there were so many big bang that went on and it did not converted as an universe or as a earth or as a our solar system and like that. So I'm like, it's just experimentation.
No, it can't be.
For me, it's science. For me, it's positivity, right? But other God works for you. Don't argue, just go with it. If it works, right?
The thing that baffled me the most was how easy it was to manifest once you become in alignment with the thing that you want.
Yep.
So I literally went from being like struggling, single mom benefits, like literally really struggling to make ends meet, to manifesting like my dream partner, manifesting my dream business, manifesting, everything that I wanted from my home, from absolutely everything. But everything became easier once I cleared those spots, but the right things were done to me at the right time.
Yeah, so I would love to see it in the manifestation, right? You said it can be manifestation, right?
Yeah.
And when I'm saying not, kind of, right? But then again, right? What are you manifesting? You are manifesting a very bigger goal for a belief coding, right? So when you manifest a success, right? Something not with money or not with anything, a very bigger goal than what you want, right? Like say you manifested, okay, I want 5,000 people joining a belief coding, right? Then you're manifesting other things also that you are not realizing, because to reach that goal, you need 1,000 things to go right. And what that manifestation do is it gives you positivity to continue every day.
Yeah, surely that has to. So say for example, when we're happier, and when we're joyful, we are sending out a happy, joyful energy because the different parts of our brain region are lights up, right?
Yeah.
And that creates literally a different brainwave.
So let's say if you want to get a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
I don't suggest you should manifest money. I suggest you should manifest success.
The thing that money will
Success,
bring you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So success is the byproduct of money is a byproduct of success, right? Or something like that. So you manifest a goal, reaching it, not an object. But then if you want an object with it, right? But it will always give you confidence, or it will always give you enough money to buy that object, something like that.
Yeah. But also, I do believe in that. So from working with subconscious, I know that once you rewire your brain, put it into total alignment, so it's safe for you to have the thing that you want. You turn up different, you take action, you do the thing that you would never ever do. So that's manifestation. And I've experienced that, and I continue to experience that because I continue to work on subconscious programming. But but I also believe in another side of manifestation, which is the magic, which is literally, that's in your face, like, no.
No, we don't use words like magic, we use words like science.
Science magic. Magic. Time, a lot of the manifestation gurus, they tell you, focus on journaling, focus on vision boards. And yeah, they work, but when you look at something like a vision board, essentially you're attaching like positive emotions and reaffirming the things that you want, right?
Yeah.
So when you see that, I go, so my belief is when we see the things we want, what has to happen, the subconscious has to bring up the things to stop us, the negative experiences, or maybe it's the panic, the fear, the worry. But those are the things we work on to get us into alignment, to release, to get the thing we want, right?
Yeah.
So I think when we're doing a vision board, it would be great to give it a context, as in so scientifically what's happening.
When we look at that thing, right, when you say vision board and everything, right, so let's put a quick notes to the manifestation, right, summarize whatever we have discussed, and then make a actually board that can help everybody, right? So what we discuss is your goal should be wired in safe, right, the first thing to get. Then make sure that goal is affirmative, like make sure the goal is positive, right, and it's not be any materialistic thing or anything. It always wired with you to get where you want to be. So it's easier to get byproduct like money, cars and everything with it, right?
So for example, this year I want to do like a £10 million year, 5,000 new facilitators. So really I need to start imagining
5,000, not 10. Yeah. Yes.
Like literally expanding the ripple effect. That's kind of emotional.
Do you know why there are poems for the kids? Do you know why?
Poems?
No. Poems where they repeat again and again and again and again, right? They repeat poems like daily.
Yeah.
The kids. Do you know why? Do you know why? There's an amazing discovery happened in 1890s somewhere, or 1910, I guess. Yeah. While they, at that time, we did not have so many recording techniques about like EEG or fMRI and everything, right? So what they did was they took 10 kids. They asked them to repeat everything, chanting or a prayer or something like as long as a poem again and again and again. So any form of repetition creates a safe space in your brain, creates a positivity that can last, and that can last in your brain for a lifetime. So that's why most of the schools, most of the colleges and have the timetable of doing this everything every day at the same time, same place. It creates a very safe space. It creates the sense of acknowledgement. It creates the sense of positivity in your brain, right? There is a lot more to it than we know about manifestation. There is a lot, and so many, like thousands and thousands of things are they are affecting the things like manifestation and all kind of thing, right? I told you about your group, 3 or 4 people makes so much sense. Like if they are positive, you will be positive, right? If they are negative, whatever you manifest, you will not be positive at all, because you have your group of people who are holding you back, right? So that's what I'm saying. There are so many things even we don't know, to be very honest, right? We know about certain thing where that works. Then again, when we look into the very own brain, right? It's all you. It's none other than you. But then we are looking at a very eagle eye view. You can see okay, it's all of us. It's all, even the city makes so much sense. Even have you heard why one city has a very good startup and other city has no startup there? People are not innovative. Why?
No.
Because of the politics, because of the people around you, right? So that's also matters. Let's say if I'm manifesting in a very small village about a technological revolution, right? Do I get right opportunity to do that? No. But what that manifestation do to me is it will connect to the right people, so I'll change the city, probably. Right? Something like that. There's so many different aspects. Yeah.
So say, for example, then, just going deeper into that, you're trying to manifest money, but you have a past experience where shame is attached to money.
Yeah.
So the more you start to visualize and imagine joy with the money,
Yeah.
it's pulling the neural pathway away from the shameful experience and to the new imaginary experience of joy, love, whatever. So then naturally you'll do the thing to get the thing. If your environment's wrong, that environment is negative, it's going to make you feel negative. So that things happen. What an individual would have to do in order to be able to manifest, like the car, the house, the relationship, the things that aren't currently in their environment, they would have to seek out evidence, such as, documentaries, such as, maybe inspirational speakers. They have to change their environment. If they can't change their direct environment, they'd have to consume stuff to create a new
environment.
Leave that.
Agreed, 100% agreed.
I know I've experienced this. When I was trying to manifest that really good stuff, but because I had lots of crappy things that happened, I couldn't hold on to the good stuff. So my brain would naturally go to worst case
scenario, yes.
So then, because I've got evidence from my past, which is stored in my subconscious, when I'm then imagining good stuff, it automatically goes to the bad stuff, because that highway, that neural pathway, is super big and super strong. So it's not allowing me to literally stay on
the good stuff.
The natural path would be to manifest bad stuff.
Yeah, I guess at that time the belief coding can help you out, So when let's change a little bit that we talk, right? A healthy brain manifestation. Let's call it a healthy brain manifestation. Does it make sense, right?
Yeah.
If you are not healthy, your manifestation will be weak because you are not putting your full effort. Yeah. So a healthy brain manifestation always works. Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Whereas what a lot of the time is, because we get asked this quite a lot, so a lot of the time when people aren't being able to manifest healthy, it's because their thoughts are consuming negativity. And whatever you think about, you bring about if you believe it, because your beliefs literally manifest your actions.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that I really want to get across is how easy manifestation is, but a lot of the time, people don't believe it, and they don't believe it because of the negative experiences.
I do. There are thousands of people who are
one in 7 billion.
I'll tell you. No. Thousands of people putting at the same effort to one thing to make it good, right? To make it successful.
Yeah.
Thousands of people like you and me, who even works hard than us, right?
Yeah.
You believe in that, right? Yeah. But then why don't they get success?
And I think because of I know because of my experiences, I found it really hard to think positive. So people would say to me, come on, pull yourself together, you just need to think positive. You just need to imagine something better. But back then, I couldn't imagine anything better because I was in such a low place.
You are in the worst place now.
Worst place. So when I'm trying to imagine something or imagine a happier life, because my pain was so strong, it kept shutting off that, that happy vision, because it wasn't safe to have the happiness. It wasn't safe to have the loving relationship. It wasn't safe to have the money, because every time I witnessed money, it was taken. Every time I felt happy, that would go. Yeah. And I think to me now, I am the future version of myself that I always wanted to become. Yeah. I have a beautiful relationship. I have 5 healthy children, touch wood, a gorgeous house, a gorgeous husband. I feel like my life is pretty amazing. And I think that only happened because I started to understand how my emotions, negative emotions, were blocking me from being able to visualize the future that I wanted. So as soon as I started to resolve those negative emotions, let them go, it became so much easier to imagine what I wanted.
Make sure you are in a very good atmosphere. Make sure you are very good. I'll say, you are settled in your brain where, you are not traumatic, or, your feelings are not traumatic. You are really optimistic, become positive, and then you start manifestation. Then it works for everybody.
Yes, because, right, so say for example, just that you really resonated and hit something there. So for example, a lot of people, they're trying to manifest the good stuff when they feel sad, when they feel frustrated. So when they're imagining the good stuff, because they feel sad and frustrated, they're then attaching sad and frustration to their image, which they're then going to repel because the subconscious moves away from pain towards pleasure. And the subconscious is the key to manifesting everything, because it's attached to your nervous system, which is attached to giving yourself a healthy brain.
This is the amazing thing that we got here today, right now, is we need to create a healthy brain first for manifestation. Nobody ever talks about that.
Well, I totally agree with everything you're saying. And I think what would be really good is I want to explore what people can do now, because most people, especially in the UK, when they're in a low situation, they reach for the alcohol, they reach for the cigarettes, they reach for the unhealthy stuff because they believe that they have no choice. But what is interesting, that is also a manifestation.
Manifestation, and that's also a choice that you have, that you don't have any choice.
Yeah. And I think, if you find that your safety is that you're reaching for the alcohol, you're always going to stay in that environment. But you need to understand but I would love everyone to understand is even reaching for the alcohol, that decision is based from our past, which has created a safety mechanism, and the subconscious always seeking safety. So that's why we do it.
Subconscious always seeks shortcut and safety. That's what her human nature do it, right? And so that's a very short thing. Even you can, like, if you want to manifest better, right, you can eat healthy. It's a very small step, but it can also make so much of difference in your positivity on your day-to-day life. And it is just, every time I talk about something like this, it blows my mind like completely.
I think what I want people to understand is that it doesn't matter where you are, the smallest steps can compound into
huge changes.
Even things like, wherever if you're feeling really crappy and you want to be able to manifest, if you literally get a pen and paper out and just
write down your goals. Yeah.
But even like kind of going into that, like even if they wrote down like their thoughts, their feels, the negativity, they're emptying their system, then should move on to write their goals, because they're emptying their system with the negative thoughts, the feelings.
Absolutely.
So then they're able to sort of project, so they're able to write their positives. Yeah. And then when they wrote it down, it's easy for them to reread it and imagine it.
Yeah.
Manifestation, it can be something that you really focus on, or it can be something that just happens. When it just happens and you just get what it is that you want, it's because you have no attachment to it. And when people talk about that, I never really understood what attachment meant. But essentially, when you're desperate for something to happen, you feel desperate, so your thoughts, your actions are going to be tainted with desperation.
Yep.
Whereas when you just think, I'd love to have that thing, that would be great, it's a safe thing to have, you're not attached to it. So naturally you'll just do an action, or you'll just do a thing that will make it drop into your lap or make it happen, because the attachment that you have to something is always negative, which repels the thing. Whereas when you don't have a negative attachment to it, then it happens. And especially with money, because I think so many people, especially in our society, the news, the media, they put the fear of God in you about spending money, the fear of God about going on experiences. So again, people try and manifest more money or have more money, but it's fear-based. They're scared. They're living in lack.
I know.
But they're scared. They're living in lack. So they can't attract. They can repel it. Conscious is money's scary. Money's scary.
So in that case, the goal is not wired properly in the brain. Goal is not wired safely in the brain. Yeah, because you can say that. Yeah.
And that's what you said. Then you would go to the step after. So say, for example, if you wanted the money to have a nice family holiday, imagining having a beautiful family holiday will bring you joy, will bring you excitement, then the money will come.
Yep.
And this is again why people, they manifest the end result, not the how to get the end result.
Yeah.
Talking about being dramatic, this is definitely that, but I can totally understand why it works. So essentially, right, so a lot of people, they're in the current state, they don't know how to get out of it, but they've also attached to an identity, like I'm a drinker, I'll never be successful. So it's hard for them to attach to a positive identity. So what this technique is, and just following on from what you said about make it dramatic, remember this drama. What the technique is essentially is writing down everything that you want to put off. Not literally, but essentially it's saying goodbye to that identity as if they've actually died.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I've recently been to a surgery, amputation surgery, with amazing doctor. His name is Rugesh Prajapati, right?
Yeah.
Amazing anesthetic. And we are experimenting on anesthetic, but we are experimenting on anesthesia, but the patient was going through amputation, right? What the family did was, it was quite fascinating for me. What the family did was, and I wanted to explore this further now because you said it, right?
So I believe that's manifestation. That conversation, this conversation is coming to life to make you explore it.
So what the family did was, they took so we amputated his leg, right? A bone knee. They took the leg, and the leg will go from the funeral. Oh, now it makes sense. So I wanted to see now if he develops a phantom
leg or not. Do you know phantom limb, right?
Yeah, it's the phantom limb is where he can feel, so he can feel his toes twinge even though he doesn't have his toes.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is because they did
do he feel a phantom limb or not? I'll explore, as soon as possible I'll reach.
Because that makes more sense, doesn't it? Because really, the reason why you can't manifest and bring in what you want is because you're attached to an old identity. It's quite. So when I was a single mum on benefits, that was my identity, single mum on benefits. So being a high achiever was never going to be possible when I attached that belief. But doing things, doing techniques, looking at outside my environment, allow me to start imagining what if I could be that high achiever until I become the high achiever.
Relationship, you'll get so many things that you'll get happiness, and when you get happiness, you will be always positive, right? And that positivity will lead you to next level. And that's what I'm saying, right? Everybody's success definition is very different from people to people. Somebody wants a fame, somebody wants a good life, somebody just want to be happy. Somebody just wanted to take care of the child. There's nothing wrong.
For life, whatever you're trying to manifest, the framework is the same. To see it first, that's your guiding star. When you have your guiding star, what happens? The subconscious beliefs, the subconscious thoughts, the subconscious feelings come up to help you to work through to get you to the next place, and that's what people miss.
Yes, exactly. Super happy about it. I feel so.
Me too.
And I was in the patent gig, right? That was happening in like a part of my city where that was a first patent clinic.
Wow. So
and
again, manifestation,
that
perfect
was
environment.
First patent clinic. It was a first step by the government. To get
at the right time.
So it looks like, it's...
No, but I think it is manifestation because the universe is so intelligent, and also as well the brain into the BCI.
Brain to computer interface.
So BCI is there's only you that could have invented it because you are such a good person. So I believe from a manifestation perspective, the idea is in the conscious mind. You are the vessel to bring it in because your vibration matches the vibration that needs to be birthed.
So many people says that, but I am like, I work hard for that.
You did work hard.
So I did this,
The thing is though, the desire was dropped into you, right? The desire to have, the Thomas Edison stage. So by the way, I think people remember Abhijeet Satani, 4 grades with Thomas Edison.
I would love that, but...
But the desire drove you to carry on, The desire is the thing. Because it took it was 11 years, wasn't it? And you were 11 years old.
I was 13 around when I was first filed the patent, 13 or 14,
Okay, but that took you, there's not a lot of 11-year-olds that would focus on something for 3 years. Number one, there's not a lot of 11-year-olds that would create the BCI, which is crazy. But there's not a lot of 11-year-olds that would stick to it for 3 years.
I know.
And if we look at you had this innocence of a child, this pure heart, that invention had to come from something great.
So it's I guess when I was 9 or 10, I started working on that, brain to computer interface, and I really got success when I was 13. But 11 was a hope of success where you look at some scientist and I'm like, I want to be him. Something like that, right? And then at that time, when I was 14 around, right, I met Amit Patel, right, who files my patent and everything, right? So Amit Patel. So I at that time, amazing guy. So at that time, I did not know what is there about patent, right? There were so many people, right? So many, you can say, scavengers that just take the patent away. But I was there with the right person at the right time.
Yes. So that's what I think. So that's so the manifestation that we talk about is you clear your subconscious box, you make it safe for you to have the thing. That's the logical, rational step of manifestation, and that works for everyone.
So for that, I'll say that, I manifested not to have a patent, not to have a money, but I manifested to reach a certain position.
But even if you look at everything around that, so even the person that put the patent through, he was the right person.
He was the right person.
So I believe, you have manifested.
He guided me really right, in a very right way, and he's still there with me. And now he's still with belief. Now he'll do the belief coding thing.
But this is why I think that you have manifested him, because that is outside your circumstances, but also that feeling, that intuition, that energy. You knew he was the right person. And especially being 13, 14, filing a patent, quite possibly the world's best invention, to be frank. It really is though. Never ask you belief coding, close second.
Completely agree with you for that reason,
But with that, you've literally made the impossible possible. But not only have you made the impossible possible, you've literally had the right people
around me to do that.
to
Yeah,
do it.
because as a 14 years old, I did not know shit. Okay, let's be frank. I only know invention, and I did not know what they will be use it for. And a family, friends,
Yeah.
all the guided me in a very right way to use it in a very optimistic and a very right way where it will help other people.
That is the magical side of manifestation, as well as the scientific side. Because
So I there is no word as magic in my dictionary. I say every magic has an explanation, and that's a science. It's a very simple word. Like if you do card tricks, right? Somebody thinks it's a magic, somebody thinks it's a hand trick, and I say it's a bluff. But it's science. Bluff, science. It's fine.
like when I'm saying magic, you are associated literally with magic, whereas what I really mean is there's something infinitely intelligent at play, moving us.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. There is infinite. Yeah.
Or like a clog, to make sure that everything happens, that we are parts of the clog, so as the clog moves, it puts the right people in the place because you've made the end result safe, so it helps you to quicker. And also, if we look at it, I believe manifestation is a hugely spiritual practice, because in order to get the thing that you truly want, there are going to be things that pop up that don't feel great, and you have a choice. You can work through them and let go of them, and then you rise.
I'm gonna say same thing. I'll say, well, manifestation is a very scientific technique.
Science and spirituality come together.
That's what, right? Before, like, people doesn't have a word of something like that as science, right? That's why they've given a word of spirituality, a god, or something. Like when you see different religion, right? Different religion is so much have a sync with everything around you, right? So much in the sync with your body, how you digest food. It has like 1 day fast in a week, 1 day fast, because your digestive system needs a rest. So there are scientific explanation about everything, whatever 50% of the religion, what religion says, or what the spirituality says. I'll not call it as a religion, I'll call it as spirituality. Yeah, what spirituality says, right? There you go.
So maybe then we just haven't discovered the science of what I would call the magic. So say, for example, the guy who did your painting, I believe higher powers that be, spirituality, placed him in your path. So at the moment we don't have a scientific framework to explain that. Or do we?